Hello and welcome to What the Hey, where I'm your regular host of What the Hey, and today on What the Hey, I'm once again answering yet another question. When I go to my notebook of knowledge, I see the question of, who the hey is Oliver from Thomas and Friends? Now this question comes from Thomas Fan 1928, so hello to you and thank you very much for the question. Now, in terms of a very basic description, Oliver, a character from the Thomas and Friends franchise, is one of the many locomotives in the Sodor universe that typically helps out with pulling trucks and coaches. With these character-related videos, I'm going to go over some very basic character details, and then give a little bit of his origin story, and then I guess my general opinion. When speaking of the visual side of things, Oliver's basic design comes from the Great Western Railway 1400 class steam engine. Furthermore, according to the Thomas and Friends lore, Oliver's locomotive was built at the Wolverhampton Works, which I think is so interesting because every character that I've done research on in regards to Thomas and Friends and that whole franchise, they're always assigned to a specific works area, so I think it's cool that people actually look into that. Going a little bit more into Oliver's history, he arrived onto Sodor in 1967, and going more into his visual history, he had to have a lot of stuff done specifically with his paint. Because once he actually started to work on Sodor and for Sir Topham Hatt, and he received his number, which is 11 by the way, he had to be repainted to a Great Western Railway green. He's been green pretty much the whole time, but he's had to have that paint put on quite a few times. I just briefly mentioned that Oliver works on Sodor, but specifically he works on Duck's branch line, and as I already kind of mentioned earlier, he pulls trucks and coaches, so that's kind of what he mainly focuses on. And if you decided to ask any of the other characters on the Railway series and Thomas and Friends what their opinion of Oliver is, they'd probably be pretty neutral on the topic. Overall, he's typically described as being very laid back and also resourceful, but he can be a bit cocky if people praise him too much, which definitely goes back to his origin story. Which, when detailing that, essentially Oliver had to escape from being scrapped, and he successfully got onto Sodor from the help of other locomotives, and Sir Topham Hatt was like, sure, we'll take you in to have you work and stuff. And early on, when he would tell his escape story, people were like, oh, he's so heroic, he's so crazy, cool and everything, but then it got toned down a little bit, and then he kind of chilled out more. In terms of my general opinion, I don't really have anything crazy or cool to say about Oliver specifically, besides the fact that his origin story is a little cool. I mean, to escape being scrapped is kind of serious, so that aspect of it is kind of interesting. But from stuff that I've seen, I don't usually see Oliver featured that much, so I don't have too much of an opinion about his work ethic or really anything else about him. I mean, I like the number 11, so that's cool. And I mean, sometimes I get characters like Oliver confused. Same with Edward, Gordon and Thomas sometimes confused, because a lot of them have similar colors, so I'm like, who is who and who am I talking and looking at right now? But overall, Oliver seems like a cool character. But that's essentially the answer to the question, so if you have any questions, let me know and I'll get to working on them as soon as I can. I do have a Wix website where you can see what questions I'll be working on through the year, so feel free to check that out, but that's essentially it, so thank you very much for watching. Bye.